This is called The Assignment Day 2, written and narrated by Chris Top. Life can be jam-packed full of second chances. Sometimes we have to orchestrate our own melodies, and occasionally the day plays an unplanned piece so sweet we're not even sure if we're supposed to hear it. Welcome the tragic tunes and the victorious verses, all the same because seasons are short, so we'd better listen close while we can. Chris, I told you the car needs work, and it's not safe enough for you to drive. It died on me 3 times on the way to Montgomery Ward, Mom said for the final time, again. Mom, I need to borrow it today. It'll be fine. If it dies on me, I'll just restart it, I begged. She countered with, it's not going to happen, and if you keep asking, I'll never let you borrow it again. Mom, please, you don't understand. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. Leave me alone, Christopher. Maybe you can use your brother's car. He'll leave it with me today, so I'll have something to drive until mine gets fixed. I'll ask him before you get home. Well, that never dawned on me at all. My brother, Larry, loves his ride. There's no way he's going to let me use it after school today. It's a sweet, bright, white 85 Cutlass that I've admired since the first day he showed it off. Kelly would flip out if I picked her up in it. I'm not even sure if I'm worthy enough to sit in the driver's seat of something that special. She's deserving, though, and maybe I'll come home to some good news. Lucky me. This has to be the longest ride home ever. As soon as the bus was ready to leave MCHS, some kid in the back barfed, and it flowed as far as my seat before it stopped. He got to enjoy his fruit cocktail cup twice today. Good for him. Who knows what the pink stuff is the driver sprinkles on top? It smells almost as bad as the vomit. Between that and Todd's little brother asking me to join his birdwatching club, I've had about enough. I had a little time to reflect on the day in between the excitement. It made me feel pretty spectacular when Kelly's best friend Jennifer told me that her home slice was excited to see me after school. The nagging feeling of my brother possibly saying no has been eating at me since first period. Telling Kelly we may have to cancel wasn't an option because I at least want to project the illusion that I have everything together. So much for being in control of my fate. All I can do now is pray that things work out in my favor. The giant yellow bus swings around our barn to reveal the stunning automobile I desperately hope to pilot. Everything feels like slow motion as I make my exit and walk toward the impeccable machine resting in front of our house. Gently placing my hand on the trunk, I let my fingers glide over the paint as I circle to the hood. Peering through the windshield, I imagine myself in control of this masterpiece. Chris blares through the screen door and snaps me from my daze. My stomach feels sick as I march toward the front entrance into the unknown. The smell of the pink stuff still lingers in my nostrils, and that isn't helping at all. One of 2 things is about to happen. I'll call my friend to cancel our encounter, or I'll pull up in her driveway in Larry's brilliant white beauty. Why do I feel like my life is over? Tracy Chapman's Fast Car plays on the radio, drowning any outside noise, leaving me solely with my thoughts. The steering wheel of my brother's 1985 Cutlass feels right at home in my hands as I cruise down Salem Road. If my smile were any bigger, it would have to sit in the back seat to make room for Kelly. Man, this day is certainly turned around, and I will not let it go to waste. My actual assignment isn't writing the play at all. It's asking her out on a date. My confidence level is through the roof, so this should be a cakewalk. Oh boy, I just want to turn around and go home, I said to myself as my spirit took a nosedive turning into her driveway. She's probably going to say no, so I should save face and treat her like she's Miller or something. I'll picture his head on her shoulders and maybe survive the whole trip without sounding like an idiot. Kelly comes strutting out and jumps in the front seat before I get the chance to walk to the door. Too bad Miller can't be here, huh? Kelly expressed. Miller, who? I mumbled as the reality of her sitting in my front seat smacked me in the face like that softball the time the sun got in my eyes. Yeah, it's, too bad he couldn't tag along, is all I could think to say after hearing her sweet voice glide through the air. The scent of her perfume overtook any leftover odor from the pink stuff and sent my senses into a fabulous frenzy of joy. Chris. Yeah, I shook my head and blurted as if someone rubbed smelling salt on my nose. We should probably leave before it's time to be back, don't you think? I wholeheartedly agreed, put the car in reverse, and pulled out into the road. Maybe it's a self-esteem issue, but I never once pictured myself in a situation like this. A guy can spend his entire life thinking and dreaming of this very moment, but it always seems so out of reach. Well, until it finally happens. We're talking and joking like we do every day in speech and drama class in no time at all. It feels right. I love this car. Whose is it? It's my brother's. I can't believe you let me borrow it. The one I drove yesterday finally gave out, and I'm glad it did because this is an improvement. I'd say so. It's nice. But the adventure was fun yesterday, not knowing if we'd stall in the middle of traffic. You kept me guessing for sure. Well, I'm known all over Tennessee as the adventuresome man of mystery, you know. Escapes my lips as I push up my glasses while realizing how lame that sounded. That was lame, Kelly snickers. We go through the trouble of renting the library conference room at APSU for the second night and have a seat directly across from each other. Kelly asks where we should start, and I tell her that I have a confession to make. Honesty is the best policy, and she should hear the truth. What is it, Chris? You're not an adventuresome man of mystery? No, that's true, but there's something else, Kelly. Pulling out my folder, I place a finished script in front of her. I stayed up late last night completing this so we could just hang out today. Being around you is remarkable, and I never feel like we have enough time, so I wanted to make some for us. Look, if this sounds creepy, I get it. I don't blame you if you want me to take you home. I lied about only being available today because I wanted to be alone with you. I figured Miller would be okay with it, so yeah, that's everything. Exhaling, I wait on her reply. I know. You know what? Monday you told me your schedule for the week, and I know you don't have to be at work until Saturday. I went along with it because I was hoping we could hang out together without any interruptions. I think you're sweet. Will you go on a date with me Friday? Wow, did I just say that out loud? She's going to say no. I've pushed my luck way too far, and it'll be over before it starts. I can feel it. I would, Chris, but Miller asked me already at school today. Oh, I'm kidding. I'd love to go out with you. We don't even have to bring Miller along. I fought the urge to tell her that I fell for her over a year ago. Who knows if it's love or not? I guess I'm not even sure what that means. It's best to let some things slip through the cracks of history. One shot at this may be all I have, so I'm sure not going to turn it into some complex mess. The only thing I'm 100% positive of is that she said yes, so I'll enjoy that for now. Kelly and I spent the rest of the evening discussing how complicated life can be and how uncertain the future is at our age. All of our differences surfaced along with anything we had in common. It's probably the most I'll ever learn in a library. Her laughter and the look in her eyes when she tells her own funny story will surely stick with me forever. When I dropped her off at her house that evening, we walked to her front door together. Our first kiss taunted the both of us. But we settled for a hug knowing Friday wasn't far away.